Yo, 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 welcome back to Neighborhood Politics. I'm Mrs. Neighborhood Politics.
And I'm Mr. Neighborhood Politics.
And today's guest is us.
Yep.
I wish we could add the claps in, like, woo.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, yeah.
But yeah, man, we doing our episode today on us. We've did a few episodes on, had some amazing guests. But my wife felt like it was time for us to kind of do one just on, me and her, on our journey of meeting each other, engagement, becoming one, getting married, our new addition that we're going to bring on to the family. So, I'm looking forward to this episode.
For sure, 100%. I guess my question to you is...
Uh-oh.
I'm playing. You go ahead. I follow your lead.
All right, well, let's just, for the people who don't know, where did we meet?
Okay, so we met in college, of course. We met at Kentucky State University. We met in 2014, for real,
mm-hmm.
when I bagged you.
Okay.
Got your number. Feel me? I think 2015 is when we start kind of like getting a little serious.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like really, really liking each other. Like 14, we probably were just texting, whatever. Then 15, we started being like, oh, I actually really like you. And then 16, we got in a relationship. So we met at Kentucky State and we got in a relationship in like 2016.
Mm-hmm.
That was the beginning.
And you for the people who don't know.
Everybody know. Y'all know what's up with me. I'm from Cincinnati though.
Okay, that's what's up. So, it worked out because that's crazy. With me being from Columbus, you being from Cincinnati. Granted, Kentucky State is a small university, and it wasn't many. We had Florida, Chicago, Nap, and Ohio. Yeah. And I can't really think of any other states, but I just see it being kind of Detroit, God's favor. How we ended up growing up an hour and a half apart, and then becoming in a relationship, meeting in school. And now being who we are today.
Yeah, that's really crazy because I say this all the time, and I know you probably don't. But I would have never known when I met you that you was gonna be my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like for real, I really didn't know. I didn't know though.
Mm-hmm.
I really genuinely didn't know. I mean, like I thought you was just gonna be like a little shorty. You had shorties.
I did.
He had shorties. I had a little couple of them in my bag too. But I just thought. But the reason why I'm bringing this up because I just feel like that's a good testament to like never underestimate or even prejudge or even just like you just never know what God has for you.
Yeah.
But I just thought we was gonna talk for a little bit.
And I was gonna mess it up.
Yep, you was gonna throw me off, and then that was just gonna be it. Like literally.
Yeah, that's even to your point, even to backtrack, I was at Kentucky State before you.
Yeah.
So I had a year I played ball there.
Mm-hmm.
My freshman year of playing basketball, my freshman year at K-State because I went to Wright State before that.
Yeah.
My first year at Kentucky State, had a good year, played ball, but I ended up breaking 2 bones in my back. Yeah. And it was just a large transition, a big transition for me to go from Columbus to Wright State to doing something brand new at Kentucky State. So I was ready to be done with school after that. I was done. Mm-hmm. I was sweet and spoke on this in other episodes, but I was back at the crib pretty much.
Yeah.
And again, I just find it ironic that if I would have never came back to K-State,
mm-hmm.
If I would have went with my first, for whatever reason, idea of being like I'm done with school, we would have never even possibly been with each other. So for me to be like, man, let me just go ahead and give this one more shot, and then from there on, here it goes, 7-8 years down the line to where being married, still having lifelong relationships with friends that I would have never even had because I would have just gave it all up after my first year, getting a degree, end up getting a master's. I really, I'm super thankful. for that, that walk that I had to do, for us to become, and even for me to be who I am today, and for us to be where we are.
So you definitely feel like it was God led for you to
Oh
be
yeah,
at Kentucky State.
yeah, for sure, absolutely. Because like I said, I was ready to be done. My first year, I went to Wright State, transferred to Kentucky State, hooped, had a great year. Just didn't have the relationship that I really wanted to have with the coach.
Yeah.
And then it was just different being so far away, not even necessarily far away because it's only 3 hours, but still being away from the crib, and just miss the first year of being away from my norm, really, because even at Wright State, I was with a group of dudes that was just like the boys that I grew up with.
Yeah.
So I still had that feeling of being home. I go to Kentucky State, and God rest his soul, but one of my closest friend Treese was down there with me, but it was still like we was 3 hours away, and I felt like I was always still missing something. And basketball was like a business now for me. It wasn't like that was my passion. Like, and I had spoken this before. It wasn't like I went to school after high school knowing I was going to still play basketball in college. It just ended up working out for me by God's grace. So it was like, this ain't even really that fun for me. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm ready to get to the crib and go back and kick it with my friends.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I'm thankful because again, like, it worked out for me.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was about to say, because I feel like we all had our hiccups or like moments of not like even getting to K-State or whatever, because that wasn't my first choice. And I definitely had Tennessee State on my mind. Central State was always an option, but it was too close. I just was like, if I go somewhere, I'd rather go to Kentucky, because Central State was like home, being at home, and if I was going to have the college experience, I wanted it to be like
right.
Some with people I don't know, and which was crazy because when I did go to Kentucky State, people that was from Cincinnati I did not know. So even though they was from Cincinnati, it was like they went to like not Cincinnati public schools, so it was kind of like okay. And then some of even who did go to public schools, I didn't even know them. So that was pretty cool and dope. But yeah, like I said in the beginning, I would have never thought that you would have been my husband, but then when we did start, I just knew I liked you though,
Yeah, when I put that game on you, you was never, like, he the one.
Never.
He the one. But even with you, when you first came to Kentucky State, it was a transition because when I put that game on you, but you said you was going through times to where it was close enough for you to where you was going home every weekend. So you still had to make that transition to where it's like, and get used to being at school.
In college, yeah. I think, and even just like for, the younger people that's watching this, like, you will be homesick, or if you used to, I'm not gonna put that on everybody, but like, it's not abnormal to feel homesick. As you can see, he just said he felt homesick. I definitely felt homesick. I didn't, so it was like, I wanted to go to college, but I just felt like that I didn't belong or fit a little bit, but I just was like, I had a mindset to just be there, take care of business, and go home. So like, I didn't really, my freshman year, I was always going home. Like I was like every weekend, like I had a car, so I'm like, I'm going home or whatever, because I was still trying to hold on to home. It wasn't until my sophomore year really that I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to really get into this college experience. You get what I'm saying? But my freshman year, I was like, I'm going home. Like on weekends when it will be parties at K-State, I would be in Cincinnati at the club. I mean, I'm just being real. I'm like, I'm at Cincinnati with my friends. We going to the club here. I'm kicking it at home. And that's what was comfortable for me. But once I really let go of like that and was like, I want to really get the college experience, that's when college like took off for me in a more so like growing and mature way.
In a profound way.
Yeah.
Which happened to your sophomore year, which is my senior year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Your sophomore year, which is my senior year. So and even with that, I'm playing basketball still. It's my senior year in school. We was, like you said, we was talking, but we wasn't really serious yet. I still was, and I, it's funny saying this because I just think back towards our other episode. I was still teetering the fence. Yeah. Shout out to Markel, National Threads. Make sure y'all shop. But I was teetering the fence to where it was like, because I had yet to be in a relationship, so commitment was going to be a real thing for me. And, and I've told you this before, but it's like I was going through that stage in my life to where I knew I had, had them one-on-ones with, God, and said, man, if I come across a good girl, God, don't let it be me this time. Because, I've had situations to where, I could have committed to someone, but due to me not being ready, I would shy away from that, so I knew even before you, I had told myself and, you know, had the one-on-ones like, man, if I come across a good girl,
Yeah.
you know, show me the signs and don't let me be the one to mess it up. So, you know, getting serious with you my senior year, and then, you know, you putting that pressure on me to where it's like, look, bro, what we doing? Like, are we gonna be serious or are we not gonna be serious? I knew then, like, okay, I prayed for this. I talked to God. I asked him, if I come across a good girl, don't let me mess this up. Don't shy away. I knew it was time for me to make that, you know, that leap of, you know, faith, although it was still gonna be my senior year. And I knew, as far as Kentucky State, that was about to be done for me.
Yeah. I would say this. So I'm probably never told you this, which is good, you know? But no, seriously, even me putting pressure on you, I don't even think I knew what I was doing. I think more so was like, I was young still trying to figure out too. Like, I knew I liked you a lot. So it was like, I really like him. And I love the way that like how we dealt with each other before ever even been in a relationship. Like, so for like me and Q, what worked for us was that he didn't ask me about nobody I was dealing with. I didn't ask him about nobody who he was dealing with. I could have found out, and he could have probably found out, you know, when you really try to, but I think with us, we were just focused on each other. Like, I knew he was dealing with other girls on campus, but I didn't know who, and I did not want to know. So that was the difference. Like, I wasn't trying to figure out who he was dealing with. He wasn't trying to figure out who I was dealing with or anything like that. So I feel like that worked for us. But I will say, like, when I start putting pressure on you, it was more so like, I like you a lot. I really, really like you. But I need to know if you really like me, because I don't want to be cutting off all these little shorties I'm dealing with, or even not even cutting them off, just more so like, I don't want to get serious with somebody else or start liking somebody else because I feel like you playing, and then you really do like me. So it was more so like, all right, what we doing? Because if we kicking it, because at that time we didn't even have sex. So it was like we was having sex and moving like that. We was really just chilling with each other.
Right.
We was really vibing. I wasn't going over there spending the night with you. And having sex. I was coming over there spending the night with you. We watching movies, we going to sleep. Literally, like, we just was like, you know, kicking it. So for me, it was more so like, I want to know if you like me like I like you, because I'm trying to make sure I don't start drifting off, talking to another dude, and then start liking him. That was kind of where I was coming from. So I think even with me putting that pressure on you, it was more so like, look, I'm not trying to like no other dude like how I'm liking you. So what we doing, and what are you doing?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know?
Which is respectable. You know, you ain't want to miss out on these blessings, so it's all good.
Bruh, it was not about these
But
blessings, because to be totally honest, I'm telling you, even then I did not know that we was going to be together.
Nah, for sure. Nah, yeah, I didn't either, and I didn't even know. You know, again,
I feel like you trapped me.
um.
You never even asked me to be your girlfriend. I just became your girlfriend.
I mean, again, I never made that commit with no one. I'm sorry, with no one else. So for me, it was like, all right, I guess we doing this. You know, I'm not no by the book. You know, write you. Well, I got, you know, I do my ways of having showing my game and all that, but I'm not no wordplay type dude.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
you know, once it was that, you know, and I'm like, okay, I guess this is what it is. We committed. I don't, you know, we don't even know, I guess, when we figured it out. I think maybe we was just having a conversation, and maybe you add, I don't know, but it's like, this is that.
Because, like, okay, so I know I remember, like, saying to you, like, no, let me tell you what made me put the pressure on you, because you was trying to play me like I didn't know nothing about you. That's what it was. You was trying to play me like you was just smooth, that you was just chilling, that, you know, like, I ain't know nothing. And I was like, I know more about you than you think I know. And he was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. I was like, oh, if I tell you what I know, at that moment, it was like, oh, I don't even know what's funny, because I was like, if I tell you what I know, like, it's gonna be over for you. Once I told him what I know, I got mad. Like, yeah, nope. And now I hear about you talk about nope to nobody else. I heard about you talking to multiple different girls, and it was like 1 week where it was like, I don't know, it was a crazy situation. It's
I had
funny.
bad luck that week.
He definitely had bad luck that week, but we were beefing, and it was a person, and she kind of told me everything about what Q was doing, but not knowing that I was messing with Q. But it was like, it's so weird. I could tell the story, but I don't know if he want me to tell it. But long story short, he was in these streets. So I found out about just so many different girls. And after that, it was just like, man, and I don't know if I just kind of came to my sisters like, you know what? Like, matter of fact, if you, like, after this, I better not hear about another chick, because if I hear about another chick, I'm cool on you. Because at this point, I had found out about, like, 5-6 different girls.
Okay.
Like, now that I'm thinking about it,
All
it's
right,
like,
well, don't
I
fight
had to
me
be out of my
today.
mind to even be dealing with you.
But yeah, it was cool. I mean, it is. You know what happens.
Okay, so I put the pressure on them as far as like, more so like respect. Like, bro, what? Matter of fact, I just found out about 6 different girls. I'm adding on, but it was like, it was a bunch.
Yeah, it is. But like I said,
And-
it worked out for us though.
And then I said something to you. Then after that, I guess like that's when for you, I don't know if that was a switch for you, but I know for me it was like you got me messed up. Then we just, of course, was still spending time with each other. But it was Valentine's Day. You got me something for Valentine's Day. It was our first Valentine's Day, and I don't know how I was on the phone, but you ended up telling me like, I don't know what you said, like something about us being in a relationship, and I was like, we together?
Oh yeah, I spent that bag, and for us, it wasn't even a bag yet in college. It was just like you spent some bread. Cause I ain't about to be the one to trick, but listen.
Oh my God.
You know that, but I spent what I had. You know, finally got a refund check. I think is what it was. I finally got my refund check, which was late. Shout out to my boy James Tatum. We went to Lexington Mall, and I had already hit for the 12s, the Obsidian. I had hit for the 12s for you. I tried to hit for both of us. I didn't get them in my size. I got them in your size, so I had them. I went to Lexington Mall with James. We was talking. He was trying to give me some fake big bro speech, some spiel. You know, I hope you watch this, bro. He was trying to give me some spiel. You know, I'm like, bro, so how you know when you ready? You know, blah, blah, blah. And then he gave me some good words of encouragement. Anyways, we was in the Pandora. Got you a Pandora bracelet or a charm. And I put it in
It was a bracelet.
That was the first.
Or no, it was a charm.
It was, I think maybe you had already had a bracelet.
And you got me a charm.
That was the first like player thing I did for you. I feel like since being with each other, you didn't even know you seen the shoes, but you never tried on the shoe. So you remember we was on the phone with each other, and I'm like, you ain't tried the shoe on yet, because I put the charm in the shoe.
Yeah, you kept saying.
And then that's when you was like, you went through it.
Yeah, so after that, that's when you was like, oh, I bought you something, you my girlfriend. I didn't know.
Yeah, we ain't playing them games. I ain't spending no type
Who
of
does
bread.
that?
Yeah,
So
listen.
We're ghetto. We didn't know our date. We had to make up one because he didn't ask me to be his girlfriend. You know, so that's what I'm telling y'all. He, men like to say that women trap them. I feel like he just kind of, once I put the pressure, he just was like, all right, we together, and I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I spent that bread. Listen,
oh my God.
Once that happened, you mine.
Oh, is that right?
What it is.
Is that right?
But since being in a relationship, what has been some of your most memorable moments though of being in a relationship?
Like some of my most memorable, like
one of them, yeah, anything.
I think this gonna sound cliche and probably corny, but I think our whole relationship, our whole existence, like our whole everything has been like memorable for me. Like, I'll give you your props on camera to everybody. You are that guy. So now you is that guy, or you are that guy, however you say it. Like, I think because of like the love that you show me on a daily, even since the beginning of us being together, like of you never really, doing this before, and me not being like that either. It's like, dang, man, I don't know. Everything about us is like a favorite memory to me, outside of us beefing, like when we get into it or something like that. Like, but I can honestly say that because it's like you show me new stuff within like love, spiritually. Like I could be talking about something and stressing out, and you would speak a word, and it is just like, I don't know. Okay, if I had to choose like an actual memory, I can't say the first time that game at Central State, because I was so like nutty, like and nervous. I could say our engagement. I could say our wedding. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
we got a lot of memories together.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, a memory that I would probably say definitely would be that game when we played Central State. That was pretty dope for me. That was pretty cool. I came into the game. I had, for the people, so we getting ready for the game. It's a big game. It's our rival against Central State, so we know it's gonna be jam packed. And I don't know where I came. I be coming up with ideas like people be thinking my ideas
It's planned
be
out.
like planned out, but I promise to promise to you, they be like, I be having ideas of like kind of what I want to do.
Yeah.
But every single thing I done kind of did, it be like that day. I don't know if it be the Holy Spirit or what it be, but it just be like, boom, do it this way, and that's gonna be dope.
And it be perfect though.
And it's always worked out that way. It might not look like it, but I promise that's how it be. So, anyways, you know, they had a Central State game. You know, I knew what I wanted to do for you. I just didn't know how I was gonna do it. And I think maybe I talked to Darian, I want to say, and, you know, me and Darian, Jonte, of course, you know, but, and then we, you know, just to figure it out, you know, how I was going to walk in there, but I had got some balloons. I had told you to wear a particular, outfit, but you didn't, because you didn't know what I was going to do. So I come into the game, you know, it's crazy, middle of the game. I think maybe like timeout or something. I walk in there, I got, you know, a nice watch for you, some balloons, bear. Low key shut the whole gym down for real. I think one of that maybe that moment, and you know, I'm gonna say a good moment. Then I'm gonna say, you know, a funny, probably a bad moment. I'm gonna say something like, probably the moment where we was chilling, and we still laugh about this when me, you, and Doe was in the in the kitchen.
Yes,
and
we was arguing over LeBron James.
Let me tell you, we was talking about LeBron, and you know what I felt, what me and my boy Doe felt, who LeBron was to our culture.
Yeah.
And she was trying to be funny. You know, if y'all know her, she's a real jokester. So she was trying to tell us that LeBron has never did nothing for the black culture. So, you know, I start getting serious. You gonna put
this out there? And
I start getting serious, and we start getting serious, and she start calling me a certain N word, and I start calling her a certain C word. If y'all catching on, y'all pinning down when I'm picking up, or y'all picking up when I'm pinned down. And then she, you know, she goes storms off, and I chase after. I'm banging on the door, and then my boy Doe done been with us do a lot of stuff. And he just in the kitchen, just like laughing. So, you know, I think I would have to say, you know, just two of many moments, but those was two cool moments that I can always reflect back on and laugh at.
Well, I think the gym moment was definitely like one of the biggest monumental moments. It was the beginning of you just even showing me that you really love me. Or I, you know, that was the beginning, so that was 2017, you know. But that moment was a big moment for not just me, but people that seen it or whatever. Because anytime people would like talk to me about us, they'd be like, "Bro, I remember when he came into the gym." But to go back to that memory, it's funny because one, I looked a hot mess. I had blue lipstick. Like, why would I do that? But at the time, I don't know. I was just whatever. But what's funny about that memory is because I did not have like when I say not even an inkling of an idea that he was going to do that, to the point where it was his first alumni game. That's what it was. Remember, it was your first alumni game. Yeah. You had wear like a button down. You wear some black slacks and whatever. And I remember me and Tay being in the house, and you came up with your outfit. We both was laughing. I'm like, bro, what do you got on? Like, but it wasn't like you looked at the mess. It was more so like, bro, you really trying to be grown at your first little alumni game or whatever. But for me, that's when it really showed me like that. Because when you walked in, I ain't gonna even lie to you. It didn't process that it was for me. Everybody like, oh, who is somebody about the da-da-da? We just looking at you, and as you get closer, that's when all my friends like, yeah, that's cute. I'm like, and I just felt, you know, so that was definitely like a huge, huge monumental moment. I would definitely say that.
That was fun, man. That was dope. I remember getting phone calls from like even like my dad or people that wasn't even at K-State, like, bro, you did your thing with that one. So that was pretty cool.
How was you? But really quick, because I know we got to move forward. But like, how would, like, what was your thought? Like, okay, you said it was Holy Spirit. You probably just thought of it that day. But like, even just as far as emotions or feelings, like, what was your point? Like, not your point, but like, how did you feel? Like, oh, I'm about to really. Like, what was your intent?
My intent?
Yeah, like just.
I mean, so that was around Valentine's too, because that was 2017. Yeah, so that was around Valentine's. So that was it, Valentine's. I mean, I knew it was Valentine's. I knew, okay, Valentine's, girls be wanting certain special stuff. You know, I'm new to all this stuff. I'm like, I ain't had to get nobody no stuff for Valentine's. So for me, it's like, okay, how can I make this Valentine's special?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was all it was. It wasn't about like, oh, I'm about to shut the game. That wasn't it. Yeah. You know, it just happened to be a moment to where I could take advantage of.
Yeah.
But it was more so like, oh, it's Valentine's. This is what I then seen in movies what dudes supposed to do for their girls. Let me go, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and put my spin on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it just so happened to be that way. But so saying that, we living in an era to where social media is so prevalent, and when you see relationships on social media, you see stuff like Q walking into the gym with, balloons and
Good
a
stuff,
watch and
yeah.
all the good stuff. You see the vacations of people going to, the Tulums and the Jamaicas and the
Yeah.
Mexicos, to where everything always looks like glitz and glamours. What's something that you would say, or the not necessarily the cons, but what's the challenges of relationships to where that people don't post? Like, you ain't gonna post when we get into an argument. I mean, some
Yeah.
people do. I ain't gonna lie, you see some toxic stuff, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? So what's some of the challenges that come with relationships?
I think having like it challenges relationships challenge you to grow. Period. If you in a real relationship with somebody that you love, and not even just like you really trying to be with this person, it's going to challenge you to grow, like in every area, because it's not just you that you're thinking about, it's the other person. And then also too is like it's stuff inside of you that God begins to reveal about you or the person that you're with, and you have to make a decision, like, do I want to grow or do I want to stay in the same? And I think stay the same. And I think that's the big challenge, or was a big challenge, and is a challenge regardless, because at the end of the day you have to always be open to grow. I think that's one of them. I think social media is definitely an issue, when it comes to a woman and a man, like, all the little stuff that comes with it, liking somebody's stuff, commenting on somebody's stuff, or communicating with somebody off of it in a certain way. That could build up insecurities or different things like that. It's people just having that amount of access like that quick, and just stuff like that. Some of the challenges that I faced while being with you, growth, probably social media, but I won't even say social media, because once we had that conversation, it was like boom. But I think it's so much though. Not like a lot, but it's more so like the main thing I could really say is it really challenged you to grow and come out, be outside of yourself. And I don't know, maybe I could add more to it I hear you talk. What you think?
I mean, I would say that. I mean, it challenges you to grow for sure as a person, because, and especially in my case, you say you ain't never had a boyfriend, but me and we didn't have them conversations with Doe before and put that pressure on you, and you'll kind of switch it up. You know how ladies do.
It don't even be that. So
y'all know how ladies do. They tell you half.
This is what I
guys.
said. I said I never been in a serious relationship, and I never dealt with nobody on the level that I dealt with you. Have I dealt with dudes? Yes. I ain't no saint.
I mean, we gonna leave it at that. But
I'm just saying, I ain't never been in a real relationship like what me and you got going on. Me, like, all of this, I ain't never been in a real relationship. I could say that on the.
Okay, we get that.
Nah, bro, because don't try to play me like I'm out here. Nah, bro, because don't try to play me.
Again, you see, women, like, that's when they wrong, because they start getting combative like that.
No, it's not that. Let me tell you what it would just was.
No, let me get my. What I was saying is, it challenges you, especially in situations like myself, to where, I've never been in a relationship with nobody. I've never had to really deal with nobody. So, growing as a person, in particular for me, I would say, being emotionally available at times, being expressive, communication, things like that. Cause I don't really, I'm not really one to really do that. I don't really, I didn't really grow up in a home to where, saying I love you was a thing, really to this day still don't, I say, I love you to one of my boys, or sooner than I say it to my mom. It was just because that's the dynamics of, I guess, how our household was. But the love is there without a doubt. If you see me and my mom's relationship, you'll be like, oh yeah, they like Bonnie and Clyde, but that the word I love you was never really expressed in our home. So, being expressive, and especially as a guy, as men, we are always taught to be like hard, stern, aggressive, providers, things like that. We're not really taught to how to be communicators, and I guess the yang to our yin when it comes to a relationship, as far as if your woman needs some type of emotional affectionate, we're not really taught that. So that has been a challenge for me. But I work on that. We've been together for 7 years now. And my whole thing, like I talked to you about, is as long as I'm not going backwards, I'm proud of myself, and being in a relationship is something to where it's a constant thing of growth. I'm not going to be a better person tomorrow than I was. I'm not going to be a better person tomorrow by 10 times, but as long as I'm taking steps to move into that direction, I would say is a good thing. So I would say something like that is probably the biggest thing. And then again, just living in the air to where, even to go back on my question, all you see is the good. So, no matter how good our relationship is going, we might have just came back from Jamaica, but I'm not saying you, but you might get on social media and see someone else that was just in Puerto Rico doing something, and maybe theirs look, it's always that we can get stuck into that thief of comparison in relationships to where, okay, although we doing good, I want to kind of do what they doing over there as well, rather than just kind of living in the moment of your significant other.
Okay, so I got two things to go back, because this definitely ties into our relationship and how me growing. And then the other thing is about social media. So remind me the social media. So one of the challenges was the toxicness that I had, or that I struggled with before us getting with each other. Because I'm not talking about toxic. I said toxic nigga. Toxicness in the sense of me ever being like, put my hands on you or calling you out your name. I'm talking about just the mindset that I had before of us getting together. And I didn't know it was that bad, because you grow up and you hear all the time, dudes ain't ish. You know what I'm saying? You think that all guys are, cheaters, manipulators, liars. Even the guys that I dealt with before you, in a sense of, I always been in situations, not like relations. It's been situations where it's might argue, might put our hands on each other, call each other out of each other's name, or just whatever, and just had the mindset of just toxic stuff growing up around just certain women and stuff, don't sweat it, just certain mindsets that you just develop. So it was part of me not even thinking that you would be my husband, because I was never even thinking that I would probably even get married. That's one. And part of me coming in and being all aggressive is because of what I've been taught, and what I've seen my mom go through, friends, cousins, what I've seen people that I grew up with that I call brothers, even my real brother, treat women and different things like that. And some of the stuff that I experienced, I might not have been in no real relationship, but I done been played before. I done been lied to. I done been oh really, you know what I'm saying? So I would say one of the challenges was just shifting from that toxic mindset to the top, and being learning what it's like to be a girlfriend, what it's like to be in a relationship. And everybody not doing this, everybody not doing that. You don't need to talk to your significant other like that, or because I said, if I've never been in a situation like that, I don't know to be oh, baby, let's talk about it. It might have been man, nigga, I ain't talking to you about nothing, whatever the case may be. So I think that was a challenge. And, sometimes still is a challenge, because I could be an alpha, female, aggressive, the way I talk, and you straight up, no, we're not doing that from day one. We don't talk to each other like that. We don't move like that. And it was I had to learn how to be a young lady, a woman, instead of being a guy's, I would say the N word, yeah, I might have dealt with a dude, but it's you my nigga, I'm you cool, it ain't that. So I had to learn how to be a young lady, a woman, and be and then social media comparison. I would say I've never, and we never struggle with, oh, y'all, they just went to here, I want to go there. No, I feel one of the comparisons that I can say, which is me being honest and vulnerable, that I did have, is before we got engaged, when I was seeing other people get engaged before us. And I was I never said it to you, but I started to internalize bro, we've been together for 5 years and our stuff is really, really real. Anybody that know me and Q, they know we real. This ain't no we fake it for social media. Everything between me and Q is real, it's genuine. We really, and such got proposed to before me, and I know they situation was super, super toxic, or they only been together for this many years and he already proposed to her. Like, so that definitely was like one of those comparison moments that I can say in our relationship where I was like, oh, so he might not want to, we've been together for 5 years. I done moved up here to Columbus, situations like that. So that's why I say social media can play a part, because even if it's not, oh, I think you cheating on me, or, you liking the girl picture, it's like you said, it could be just the simple thief of comparison, and it doesn't look like always, oh, I'm trying to be like this person or I want their life. It could be simple. Like I said, for me, that was one moments where I know for a fact I compared myself to other people, because I was like, these people getting proposed to and engaged before me and Q. This is like, no, there's no way when we're really in love. Like, that's how I used to feel,
So to go back on both things that you said, the first thing, as far as the culture that we are brought up in, and I'm thankful to, with you possibly break some generational curses, because
ain't no possible we already been breaking them.
yeah. But it's like we grew up in a culture, and like, let's not even say it. Just as women, you grow up in your own culture. As men, black men, we grow up in our own culture, to where from this tall to that tall, we taught to handle business when it comes to females. It's like, man, you can't, don't cuff that, don't, you a simp, this, that, and the third. And then women, you are taught that, or you might, like I said, you might not even have really dealt with a bad dude, but already in your mind it's like all dudes is dogs. And I read a book, and I can't think of the name of the exact name of it, but it's like Dating a Black Woman. What is, it's a pretty good book. I got it at home, but it immediately goes into that, to where even as a young girl, subconsciously you hearing that from aunts, moms, older cousins, so you already got a idea of all black men, all black men aren't nothing, when that's really not the case. And I really feel like, as a culture, although we live in a toxic society now, we really got to get away from saying that, because that's not how it is. Not all women are bad women or hoes, and not all dudes is dogs. It's really good girls out there, it's really good dudes out there. And then as far as what was it,
the social media comparison,
as far as the engagement, this is something I feel like women, and I think with me being a man, I feel like women think, a lot of times they do see other people getting married or engaged, and then they put that pressure on men, as far as well, why ain't we getting married, or why ain't we getting engaged? And I do feel like that can be a problem for some men, because everybody's path is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, although they may have met and been together for 6 months and been able to get engaged, they might have been together for 10 years and finally got engaged, but that really I don't feel like it should be a time. And I'm not saying you said that.
Yeah, no.
I don't feel like it should be a time, unless, now, granted, we get in 10 years, what we doing? But, a time stamp, to where it's like, why aren't we engaged yet? Why aren't we, because if y'all are doing well with each other, if y'all are growing with each other, it does come a time to where it's like, all right, let's take this next step. But it's also about, being patient, and on my saying, always moving on God's timing. Because it's funny, the year that I got engaged to you, and we'll get on that, although it was something that triggered that, to where it was like, okay, I got to hurry up and do it now kind of thing. I had already wrote it down 5 years before, which is another thing that was ironic. I had wrote down a 5-year plan, 2000, and at that, what was it, 2021?
When we got engaged,
proposed to Yamea. I wrote that on the 5-year plan, and I read it off at our engagement. That wasn't no fake. That was 5 years to that, that 5 years from that year that I wrote that. But it's like, things be on God's timing. And I think as a culture, even with black women, we can't, and that black men, we can't settle and be like, okay, wait for us, because that's not the case either. That's not fair either at all. But black woman can't be on that thing to where such and such, she got engaged. Now, what you doing? You should marry that man. He might not be ready, and he might get into a committed situation with you, and things, and then it might go really bad, and that wasn't worth it then in that case.
I think, like, so for even when it came to our engagement, like, I ain't start getting antsy until I think when I moved up here. Like, I've always talked to you about it, played about it. But once I moved up here, and it was like 2020. Okay, COVID hit 2021, and I'm like, it's been 5 years. Okay, granted, the first 3, 4 we was in college. Whatever the case may be, I'm like, but it's year 5. Do he really want? I don't want to. I think I had a lot of fears, to be honest, and I think that's what women like. That's what we do. Not all of us, and it could be with men too, because we just watch certain TV shows where the man want to give the girl an ultimatum, But it was more so like I didn't want to be up here, shack up with you, get pregnant, do all this, and you didn't feel like you had to propose to me, because I knew that at the end of the day I wanted different. Like I knew that I wanted to get married. And even once you even proposed to me, I don't even think I knew what all I was even asking for. So even for us, like we hear it a lot, ladies, like, get engaged and all this different stuff. But it's when it's real and it's serious, like things shift in a good way, not a bad way, but it's a shift that you have to be able and ready to hop on the wave of growth and becoming somebody's wife. And what does that look like? Because we hear it all the time. I want to be married, but not everybody have a parent or a grandmother or somebody that's teaching them or helping them understand the importance of this next level. You get what I'm saying? So I think for me, speaking of like just my experience, it was a lot of fear of hoping that, I didn't do things the wrong way. And not necessarily that somebody told me the right way, but I just wanted things to just be different. And that year, I guess maybe we could talk about it now, because that's kind of where the fear came at. 2021, when we first got pregnant. We got pregnant in 2021. We got pregnant in like June. We found out in June. At the end of June, and then I had a miscarriage. But before I had a miscarriage, before that day we had a miscarriage, it was like I wasn't really happy about the pregnancy, because I was like, I just moved up here with him in 2020. We shacked up, and I just got pregnant, and he ain't proposed to me. And now he already bought our house. So before I went up here, he bought our house in 2019. And at the end of 2019, I moved up here at the top of 2020. So I knew he loved me. He wanted to be with me. Ain't no man gonna just buy a house for you and make sure it's together and everything ducks in a row. Every step that you was taking, I knew you wanted to be with me. But once that situation, when that pregnancy hit, it hit like a switch for me, to where that's when it was like, this man got his dog. Because Q, which I love about you, and I'm so grateful when we talk about this, like, you was getting everything that you wanted. Like, you got your house, you got your dog, you move up here, then it's like, I'm pregnant. He always wanted a kid. So in my mind, I'm like, this dude done got everything he wanted, and we not even engaged. Like, I just had that about it. And we was like, I remember just you being excited about us being pregnant. I remember, I'll never forget this. I wasn't like mad. I just wasn't happy, right? And I remember we was driving.
You was mean.
Yeah, because I think it was like literally a switch. Once we found out, it was like he was so happy, and he was like kissing on me more. He was hugging on me more, and I was just like looking at you. And you said I wasn't mean. I just wasn't as affectionate. That's what you said. But I did become mean a little bit. And I remember us driving from Indianapolis going to Florida to Cincinnati. We're going to Cincinnati to get on the plane. And you were already talking about a gender reveal. Oh my God, y'all. I had probably like a hormonal moment where I was like, a gender reveal? Like, I'm like, what? Gender reveal? Da-da-da-da. I'm like, I can't believe I'm your baby mama. I'm your baby mama. Like, da-da-da-da. Then he like flipped on me like, don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like I'm, like I'm just a regular nigga. Like, sorry, just you was like, you really think I get you pregnant and not? But then in my mind now, running like, you only gonna marry me now because I am pregnant.
Yeah.
So it was like, as a woman, I was experiencing all those different emotions of being shacking up, getting pregnant, feeling like you already you got all your little stuff that you wanted to, solidify. Then I don't. Then you already talking about a gender reveal. And then you know, I'm just having all these emotions, and I would never forget, which I'm grateful for now, because we be pregnant again, and we got a beautiful baby girl that we, you know, about to bring into this world. But I think I kind of felt a little guilty when we did have a miscarriage, because I felt like I spoke death on our child. I didn't say I want, you know, the baby to be dead or anything like that. I just wasn't happy, and I just kept being like, sorry, I'm pregnant. Da, da, da. I just was speaking negatively, and I remember July 4th. After we left from Tree's house or whatever, we was at a hotel, and you was about to go out with all of them and whatever. And then I remember that night, because that was the first. We found out June 24th. I was pregnant, and then July 4th is the first time that I like really prayed, because I couldn't pray that whole time. I was upset. I felt condemned. I felt bad. I felt all these different things, and I remember just being like, God, this is what you want from me. Align me with the right doctors. Help me be the best mom I could be. I just kind of just accepted it that night. And then July 5th is the day I miscarried. And then when we, you know, was at the hospital and I was seeing how it affected you, it made me kind of feel away. Not like towards you, it was just like, dang. I don't know. I don't think I kind of felt like whatever, and you was all sad. And then I started feeling more sad because I felt like it was my fault. And I think there was a lot of stuff that we didn't even never speak on. But I think once you realize that I was having to go through them do all this to me in the hospital and all this, I think that's when you was like, okay. Because I remember you saying, baby, we just worried about, you know, make sure that you good. As long as you good, we good. You know, and I think for me, like, that process was like, I didn't know it affected me until just the beginning of this year, you know, that it had any kind of effect or anything. So I think when you factor all that stuff in when it comes to women and to going back to marriage and all that stuff, I think some of that stuff do matter.
Nah, for sure.
That was what made me be like, a little bit more like, if he don't propose to me this year, then I don't know, I'm probably gonna leave, because I ain't about to be up here. I already got pregnant and we already had a miscarriage. You know, I was thinking that way, and I wasn't thinking about you as the person. Like, who is Q? Q ain't no ham dude. He ain't disrespectful. He always show you that he got futures. I mean, like he want a future with you and plans for y'all. I just couldn't change the switch when all that had happened. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And as far as like the, you know, marriage thing, just to kind of go back on that again, you know, with guys, again, our culture that we come up in, because even now with me being married, and I think I maybe had to ask a person or two, but even now with us being married, I've had peers ask me like, when was you ready? And it's like, we don't see that often as men. You know, naturally, women are supposed to be nurturers. They grow up in, for the most part, 8 out of 10 dream of getting, you know, married, dream of what they gonna look like coming down the, you know, the aisle, their wedding dress. 2 out of 10 guys think that. You know, I never thought I was gonna get married. So, you know, I think that's the imbalance that we need to figure out as a culture, to where it's like understanding, to where even if as young kids, we do start teaching that, to where like, and people not necessarily teaching it, because it's something that kids got to see too. They need to see black love and successful relationships, because, you know, up until, you know, us like being committed, you know, it's like, well, what does marriage even really look like for me to say, okay, I really want to, even though I know I want to be with her, like, what does marriage really look like for me to say, I really want to be your husband? And that's a real thing for men, because at the end of the day, women, y'all ain't getting on one knee, you know, proposing. I mean, Jim Jones girls did, but outside of, we the ones that really got to take that step to where it's like, okay, take this deep breath and propose and do it. And then once you do it, it's over with. Really, it'd be like, oh, that was really easy. But it's just the fact of doing it, you know.
It's a big commitment.
It's a huge commitment that as men, we don't see, we don't come across, we don't go to engagement parties
like all the time,
you know, we don't get them phone calls and where it's like, hey bro, I'm about to pop the question, pull up on me. You know, we
got get them, but not as often.
Right.
So it's not familiar territory.
Right. So as men, it's like, you know, that's really a step for us. Whereas women, naturally, that's what y'all for the most part, y'all desire that. Men, we don't, for the most part, grow up desiring that, you know.
But what's crazy, baby, is I didn't desire marriage
No,
before.
I know.
Like,
That's why I said 8 out of 10.
Oh, I would say like, yeah.
But
sorry, I'm sorry.
nah, but even to go, with the miscarriage situation, miscarriage, is a real thing, and I think it's something that's very important to be said, to people, that's had kids or maybe that don't have kids, because we aren't the only people that have experienced miscarriage, so I think one of those things that need to be kind of said to people is like, don't ask people like, when are y'all gonna have kids?
Oh my
when
God.
when do y'all plan on having kids? Because you don't know know people's situation.
Yeah.
We told maybe our immediate people that we had the miscarriage,
and we didn't tell them off rip.
Yeah, and partially because we was all the way in Florida when it happened, so it's like we gotta tell somebody because a serious situation going on. But it's like you don't know what people are going through or have been through, and how traumatic that has been for a person or for a relationship. They could be on their second, third, or fourth miscarriage, and it's like to still you might be jokingly, oh, when y'all gonna have kids? They might be trying all the time, Once we decided that we was gonna possibly do it, we was looking at the little ovulation stuff and all the little app thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure other people are doing that too. So it's like the pressures of that is real. So, I think we need to, as people, like, stay away from asking people that, because that is a, traumatic experience.
I got a question though. How did the miscarriage situation affect you, or what did it like, how did it like not even affect you, not only affect you, if it affected you, enlighten you, or what did you get from it, or how did you feel about it, I guess? That's the question.
I would say,
how did you feel about
it messed me up. One, because of, again, like you said, I was super excited. I was super excited. I remember when you found out, you was like, go to CVS, and 3 or 4 days late. And I was like, you've been 3 days late before. You ain't pregnant. Anyways, I go to CVS. It's that awkward moment that you see on movies. I buy the thing.
Yeah.
No, we got self-checkout now, so I probably went through the self-checkout. Anyways, come home, you take the test. It come back. You screamed, Q, and I don't know, you came back, told me, and like you said, I was excited. I think I went out, cut the grass. I was already imagining life. Like I was, because when I cut the grass, that'd be my moments to where I really be spending time with myself. And, I'm experiencing life now. Like, wow, this is dope. This was about to happen. I think I had, backtrack. Before we found out that you was pregnant, we went to go look at rings, right? I need to just get a refresher. We went to go look at rings, I believe. Or maybe, regardless. I think
so, yes, we did go look at ring, like, at ring. We must have been at the mall, and we just must have went in there. And I think I was like,
we didn't go to like ring shopping, but anyways, probably the next day, I went and bought a ring. Like, you never knew. I went and bought a ring like the very next day. So like life was like, oh, this is dope for me, and even with that buying a ring situation, it's funny because I see it now. I see how that looks. But even for me, I was like, I'm going to propose at the gender reveal. I had already had a whole mindset, and it's like, I see now from your perspective to where it's like, you're not necessarily, you're only doing this because, but it looks this way.
Yeah.
And it pushed you. It did push you to where it's like, it's time. But as far as the actual miscarriage goes, I'm sorry, it affected me because, again, like that excitement, and then you not being as excited, and then like you said, us having that kind of a blow up moment, to where when we was leaving Indianapolis going to Florida, and then me as a person, I'm like, I'm not really expressive. If something hurts me one time, it's like it affects me, and I will build up a wall to where it's like I never want to feel that feeling again. And so it was like going through a miscarriage, being hurt like that, of course, still being there for you. It was like, dang, man, this is really real. Like we was about to have a child, lost the child. It was like, it was hard. And then even now getting re-pregnant is the word. Now getting pregnant again, now I think it shows you even more. Cause it's like now the first time you get pregnant, it's possibilities of miscarriage, but I wasn't thinking that. Now, the second time when you actually get pregnant, it becomes one of them things to where it's like, you think about unconsciously, and I pray and talk to God, but it's like you kind of think about that more than is it going to be a successful pregnancy, when it should be opposite after you've experienced miscarriage. It's like, you know, like, again, this is the first time I said this, but it's like anytime you go to the bathroom, especially within that first 12 weeks, it's like you scared because it's like, dang, I hope she, because, you know, that's something. We was in Florida, you called my name like, Q, come here. We was at Dynasty's house. And you was like, what's that look like? You know, and I'm like, dang, what's going on? But, you know, now that first 12 weeks, 8 weeks, 7, you know, you like, dang, anytime she go to the bathroom, I hope she don't call my name. You know what I'm saying? Because moments like that, is like, it sticks with you. It's like, I hope she don't call my name. And then when you ain't feeling the best, you like, dang, I hope ain't nothing going on. And you know me, I'm an informational type of person. So I'm Googling
which is the
why does she have a cramp in her back today? Week 7 bad symptoms. What does this mean? She's having cramps in her back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a real thing, to where even though you want to not think that way, really, you just hurting yourself even more because it's still on your mind. So I would have to go and pray and talk to God and then reflect back on, you know, Pastor Ashante telling you going to have a successful pregnancy, and you telling me that, and then Beautiful Butterflies telling you that, to where I have to go back to my faith, to where it's like, bro, Q, you a faithful dude. Like, and when I say faith, I'm in terms of God. You a believer in terms of, if someone told you something before, as far as you gonna have a beautiful baby, I need to be thinking about that more than the fact of what if she has a miscarriage again? You know,
it's traumatic, and like you said, we only had one, and we know people who had multiple, but you know, you had those fears. I had those fears, like, you know, or as a woman, you know what it feels like when you about to come on. So it's like moments where I was, you know, in the beginning of this pregnancy, I got to use the restroom, but I'm feeling like I'm about to, like, I'm praying that when I check, you know, my, you know, check down there, it ain't blood. You know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, I think the first time, which I'm being honest, we wasn't ready as much as we thought we were.
Yeah, for sure.
We weren't ready. And I think it would have built up resentment. It wouldn't have been what God intended it for it to be for us. And I think prematurely, it was just like, you know, he you know, took care of it, but I can't deny that it didn't have effects. I don't even think it had I think in the beginning it was like when it first occurred, we was like going through the motions of being sad. But after that, it was like, we was good. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say it affected us as like, before we know, it just affected us so bad. Now it was just something that we know. I think we see now how we probably didn't think it affected us, but how now we see,
you
like
know,
it's
a real thing. It's a possibility.
It's a real thing. I remember being at Beautiful Butterfly, and we was about to pray, and one of my Beautiful Butterfly sisters, she was pregnant, and they was like, all right, everybody, you know, join and pray. And I didn't want to touch her hand. But I never experienced that because I've never prayed with a pregnant woman after that situation. And I remember her looking at me like, yeah, you're okay. Nothing is on you. Because that's how I felt. I felt like I don't want to transfer. Like, I just had that. I don't know. I didn't even know I even had that thought. And she just looked at me, and that's when I started crying. I'm like, I didn't even know I felt like this, because I kind of felt like it was something on me, or like, am I going to get pregnant again? And then, you know, not even mentioning the health conditions that I have and different things like that. So it was like a whole thing. But I am grateful that now we are expecting. Now I'm in a better place about it. Like, she was planned for real. And just us being able to actually receive God's promise about it, and just seeing now, if we still got time to go, but we know that it's gonna be her. She's gonna be healthy. She's gonna be whole. I've been having a great experience so far, and I'm gonna continue to have a great experience. And we just now like, wow, we really about to have
a baby girl. I would say, and to go back, man, I would say, you know, and again, I'm big on timing. You know, you can't tell me to do nothing before I'm, and, you know, joking, but you're not going to tell me to propose to you if I don't feel like I'm ready to propose to you. If God ain't told me to, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, timing, you know, is everything. And to go back off what you said, I do think, you know, everything happened for a reason. I have to be a believer in that. I'm going to be a believer in that because, you know, we had the miscarriage. I wasn't no simp to say, oh, well, I ain't gonna propose no more. You know, I'm still about to propose. I was why would I not propose to you now? When you was pregnant, I did go get the ring to propose to you, you know, on our gender, when it would have been our gender reveal. So, you know, everything worked out. So still proposed to you, was perfect, you know. Dang near a few months later, got married. We didn't, you know, we don't even have to go into detail about how that happened, but by God's grace, we had no idea we was going to get married, 6 months after we got engaged. But, you know, these things fell into place for us that no one would ever even believe unless they was with us throughout that process. Got married 6 months down the line to where it was like, wow, boom, boom, boom. It fell into place. And now
in 30 days.
And once we got the official word that we was going to be able to do it, we actually got married within, like you said, 30 days.
It was probably like 28 days.
It was,
like,
for sure.
Something so crazy.
So, to go back on that is just like, and now here we are today. And even to hear small things from peers and people like, man, y'all did it the right way. You know, it really pits it in retrospect, like, man, God was always in control. Like, yeah, y'all went through that experience, y'all had a miscarriage, you know, but he was there with us. You know, we worked it out. Now, a year and a half, whatever it is now later, you know, experiencing being pregnant again.
We ain't even a year.
Yeah, don't make it sound
bad. No,
but
but
no, that ain't the point. That ain't the point. But what I'm saying is, you know, here we are now, and we did it the right way. And I'm getting texts like from peers saying, man, I'm proud of y'all. Yeah. Y'all married. Y'all did everything how it was supposed to be. Y'all did, and not to throw any shade on anybody that didn't do it. It just kind of is reassuring to hear or see when you do get the messages like, man, y'all did things the right way. You know, y'all did things the right way. So I'm, you know, God's timing is real, and I'm just happy about that.
So, you know, like, okay, I think it didn't even occur to us that one, we did it the right way. Two, you know, some people probably would say, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted, I get excited. But I think some people probably would say, what is the right way? How you gonna say that's the right way? And like you said, we're not saying anything about people who had a baby or pregnant before getting married. Everybody had their own time, and God's grace is sufficient. God love you. He ain't looking at you no different. What the enemy meant for evil, God will always make it for good. But I think, like, for us, it was like, God had just been on our relationship since the beginning. And I think that's just what it shows for us. From the beginning of our relationship to I said to the end, to now, even just to now, like how God just show up for us and how he just so in the center and how he literally just make things work like all the time, no matter what the situation is. Like even in the, like I said, even in the miscarriage, even in the wedding process, and you know, I mean, you know, us getting married and all these different things, God's hand has been in it the whole time. And I think it's so dope that, you know, God was able to speak to you throughout our whole relationship and me, you know what I'm saying? In our different ways, and it looks so different each time, but I cannot lie or deny that God literally has been in the midst, in the middle of everything that we've had going on. And it wasn't until like today, not until, I've always known it, but this morning I was like praying and I was just like, wow, God, you really like, just, we were really meant to be, you know what I'm saying? We were really meant to like conquer and devour some things together. Like, and I know that to be true because the way that God move on our behalf about any and everything. For sure. He do not play about us.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, and I think, you know, I think it more than I think a lot more than what I say, you know, and that's again something that I have to work on communicating, you know, communicating my thoughts sometimes, because half the time my thoughts will make you feel good. It's just I don't be knowing how to communicate it out from here to here. You know, a lot of times you would be like, oh baby, that would make me, you know, that would have made my day. But you know, it's just something that I think or have thought before. It's like, you know, again, I've dealt with other females before, as you know, of course you know, and it's like to know that I'm with you, I know God, it was always meant, you know, because I don't see me being with no one else. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that we desire, both wanting to be mentors, both being teachers, both just being cool people, both having so much in common, you know, coaches, having so much in common, wanting to do things the right way, having actual real morals and living by real morals and principles. It shows like, dang, bro, I don't know where you would have been at if you would have ended up with such and such, such and such, such and such.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
nah, God really wanted you to be with you, you know,
Yeah.
and now here I am today, you know, coaching, teaching, got a wife, have podcasts that you've been behind me 100%, 110%. And it's like, you know, you think back on such and such's name. Not to say that you wanted to be with her, but you
Yeah,
think
no, you
back on
think
such and
about,
such and be
yeah.
like, okay, you scrolling your IG, be like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember her. But it'd be like, could you see yourself doing a podcast with her? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? You'd be like, nah, you can't.
Yeah.
And it'd be small things like that to where it's like, are you with the person you supposed to be with? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, you ain't supposed to be with such and such that's showing her, you know, butt all on, you
Yeah.
know, I'm with the person I'm supposed to be with. So that just be thoughts to where it be like, God do be doing this thing. It's already be divine on what he really want. So even with that, man, like fellas, like if we come across good girls, you know, that's a real thing. Like, man, cherish that and really like and really and now that I'm having a daughter, like none of y'all little cats ain't gonna play about it. I'm not gonna play about it, but I'm for real. Like I got a daughter on the way now, so it's like if you come across a good girl, like really take advantage of that. And same with females. Like you come across a good dude, take advantage of that because I do believe it's something out there for everybody, but I don't believe God gonna just keep on being like, all right, bro, you messed up with that one. Here you go. Cause I knew in my heart, cause I told you I had them conversations with God, like, bro, you know, I talked to God like that, bro, if I come across another good girl, don't let me mess it up. So I knew I had a gut instinct. Like if I messed it up with you, he wasn't going to throw me another oop anytime soon. He was never going to throw me the behind the back. It was going to be like, bro, you going to have to work for this next one for real.
Yeah.
So don't mess it up. If you come across a good girl, if you have them gut instincts, just go for it. If it don't work out, kick her to the curb.
Okay, whatever. And for the ladies, I would say, you know, be okay with like with kind of just going back to what you said, like you probably struggle and be like, could I see myself with her? Da-da? I think oftentimes, like, you know, women, we deal with guys, but we don't really see the heart of the person. Like, we not paying attention to, is he actually a good person? Like, okay, yeah, he's being nice to me, but is he nice to everybody around him? Is he like a good dude, genuinely? If me and him wasn't together, can I talk to somebody about him and they think that like he's a good dude? I think that that's something like as a woman that you really need to pay attention to. Like, is this person a good person? You know what I'm saying? Because some guys are only good to you. I mean, let's just be real. You know, growing up in the hood, it's guys that, you know, that it might have been like, you know, killer, stealer, you know, all this different stuff, you know, but they'll be nice to you. But you got to think about that type of stuff when you know, like dealing with a guy. So I feel like with you, I knew instantly, you know, just different. Different. You taught me so much ASAP. Like, you know, I'm not afraid to say that. I just think as women, we gotta, like you said, we can't go into every situation thinking that every guy is the same, because that was something that was like in the beginning of us. Like, well, I never seen that he would be my husband. Like, and God didn't allow me to see Q Hart in the beginning. I would tell you that. He didn't allow me to see Q Hart until we started, the further we got along, because although you had all these, you know, little different friends that you had, that you was dealing with, I never saw your heart. I was always just like, oh, he cute. I really liked you. I knew it was something about you. I used to get butterflies in my stomach concerning you, but I didn't see your heart. And then once God allowed me to see your heart, and I remember Tay being like, man, Q really a good dude, like an actual good dude. And I just couldn't match it. I couldn't. I'm like, bro, no, because every guy in my mind that got shorties, they ain't really good dudes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So once I seen that about you, it was like, okay, yeah, but like I say, you know, women, we just got to do better with just our choice of men. I would say that. And then two, just being okay with being feminine and or operating in your feminine energy, and not being toxic or combative 24/7. And I'm still working through that, because take me out the hood, but the hood's still in me.
No, for real though. I mean,
You know, but I got a level of respect for you, like a high level of respect for you that I've ever had for than any other man in my life, including my dad. You know what I'm saying? Just the way that you are as a man, I honor, I respect, and I value on a different level. And I really, really appreciate you. I'm not getting emotional. I know I'm pregnant, but I really do appreciate you to just a whole nother level of just like how I feel, how I look at men. Like, I know my husband, like, is a good man. Like, not just my husband, he's a good man, and he means well by everybody that he come by. He got a good heart, and he gonna get the job done.
Yeah, for sure. So let's run it back, have a little boy.
No.
So we can, you know what I'm
I'm not
saying?
gonna say no.
I'm playing around.
I am not gonna say no. I am trusting God for a supernatural birth. And that just mean like no pain, no, I ain't even gonna get into that. Let's just not. But I am trusting God for a supernatural birth, a great experience, and once God come through with this,
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be willing to run it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, just letting go of the fears of things that I might have feared or whatever. I'm choosing faith over fear. And if God is willing, we can try. But if I get another girl the second time, I don't know if I'm with that.
Nah, but
how many kids you want?
He'll be with you. I mean, because he's been with you thus far. I probably done got more symptoms than you done got.
Cause he asked for them.
Yeah.
When in the beginning I was like nauseous and stuff. I never threw up. I still haven't threw up. Like I still haven't thrown up anything of that. But I would be like nauseous and stuff like that. And I remember Q being like, "Well, baby, just ask God to give me some of your symptoms." And I was like, "Shoot, I wish He would." Listen, not like a month after that.
But
Q been pregnant.
Yeah, but look, I was going to say, kind of, man, another thing with relationships is, and that's for both, again, males and females. When you get with that significant other, again, since social media is so prevalent nowadays, man, like, be thankful for what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, be thankful for what you got. Now, don't settle. Now, if you're in a relationship and you just genuinely not happy, and that's one thing. But I would definitely say, at least for my men, I'm gonna speak for my men. Be thankful for the woman you got, because although it might be easy to, scroll on IG and follow, I guess, the baddest model in the world, and she got, a crazy following, and you see that, you might think that that's out there, and you might be like, man, I could end up with something like that. Like, nah, man, just be thankful for what you got, because it could easily be taken away from you. And, God's gonna give you who you supposed to have in your life. So never think like, oh, my girl bad, but I see such and such out there, and they out there kicking it, living their life, and shoot, she with a group of another, like that's when the toxic thief of comparison start coming about, to where it's like, man, they out there having fun with a group of, chicks or something like that, and then you end up being mean to your girl because you really want to have the desire to go out and kick it, and you lose her. Now you single and moping around because you ain't happy, and it ain't what you thought it was. So, I mean, I would just say, man, just be thankful what you got, because in this era now, again, it could be real easy for you to just scroll and be like, oh, shoot, I can go to Jamaica and it'd be a whole slew of, other girls out here. It ain't that, but I think it'd be a good time. That's a good segue for me to hit you with the rapid fire questions.
Okay.
You ready?
I guess.
All right, 1 second.
We'll see.
So, all right, picture time. You gonna have to picture timer on.
For me?
Yeah, picture timer on for you.
Ghetto?
And so this rapid fire.
How many?
You do 30 seconds.
Okay.
For this 25. For this rapid fire, this is
Why
solely
25?
because you are used to this, so you should know what to do.
Boy, okay.
This rapid fire solely, just so you can have an idea, it pertains to our daughter, all right?
Oh.
Okay? Our daughter, all right?
That's not 25 seconds. I don't even know what you're about to ask me pertaining to our daughter.
You gonna do that to other people? 25. You step to the challenge.
I'm just
Come on, coach, y'all. Let's go.
Okay, go ahead.
You ready?
With the first question, then I'll start.
All right. First question. Cheer or track?
Cheer.
Who gonna spoil her the most?
You.
Preferable bedtime?
10. For me or her?
For her.
I want her to go to bed early.
Okay age for a boyfriend?
15.
Okay. First nickname you can think of?
Yanni.
First word?
Mama.
Prediction, before or after due date?
Before.
Who would she act like more?
Me.
Big sister reward goes to?
What you mean?
Big sister reward goes to?
Who?
ISIS.
Oh, ISIS. I'm like, that's not like a trick question. You answer those questions. What was the first question?
Cheer track.
Which one?
So you asked me then, I guess.
You ain't gotta do rapid fire. You just answer them.
All right.
Cheer or track?
Both. and volleyball.
You ain't even. You don't want to
Maybe
do
basketball too.
I was about to say,
Come on, keep going. You got. Come
You
on.
wanted to wrap it?
Yeah, come on.
All right, well, I'll start the timer then.
Come on, just come on.
Okay. You wanna Who gonna spoil her the most?
You.
Preferably bedtime.
8.
Okay, age for a boyfriend.
16.
First nickname you could think of.
Yummy.
Yeah. First word.
Dada.
Prediction before or after due date.
After.
Who will she act more like?
You.
And big sister reward goes to
Isis. Ayla.
That's
Ayla.
dog, baby. Ayla, shout out to you, girl. She said mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little rapid fire for you.
You had another one?
No, I was just a little rapid fire for you.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question then. Okay. You want like bake or cook?
Bake or cook?
Yeah.
Food?
Yeah.
Bake.
You like bake more?
Yeah.
That's weird. I would think you like cook more. Have you ever... No, I'm actually... What's your celebrity crush?
That's not on the icebreaker.
That's my question.
Cardi. Come on, man.
If y'all don't know, Q's celebrity crush is Cardi B. I don't know how I feel about it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't got no problem with Cardi, but I just don't know how I feel about that. Like, cause it just like, what, you know? I don't know how I feel about that. One more question. That's one more. That's booty. I don't like that one. It was said, can you play any instruments?
Okay.
Describe your ideal breakfast.
French toast, eggs, the potatoes that Doe made the other day. Those is good.
You can't. Okay, that's ideal breakfast. My bad.
Some orange juice.
Some orange juice.
And I ain't been feeling bacon since the pregnancy thing.
Oh
It's been like a food aversion for me, so I don't know about
It's
no
been
bacon.
A food aversion.
Yeah, I ain't really been feeling
no,
the bacon.
you don't. A food aversion is when you can't even like the taste.
That's how
of it.
you see. I've been giving you my bacon.
Okay, do you like sausage?
I ain't. No.
You don't want any kind of meat.
I don't know. It's been.
Oh.
I don't know.
So can I ask you? This is just my questions. What kind of symptoms have you been having since we've been pregnant?
Weight gain.
Uh-huh.
Moodiness, probably. Tired.
Okay.
Cravings for food, sweets, a little bit of all of them. I would say probably.
Nauseous.
Yeah, now I'll be waking up feeling sick. I don't know what's going on, but
You a little mean.
yeah, I said mood swings.
I would say like my symptoms would probably be like in the beginning it was fatigue. I was super tired, of course, first trimester, and I had like a little bit of nauseousness, but I guess in the beginning it was her indicating that she was hungry, but then I would try to eat and then she didn't like it. And then she don't like juice. So whenever I drink juice or pop, like I can drink it, she ain't gonna throw up, but I'm gonna start feeling queasy after it. So I just be like, water it is. And what else she don't like? She don't like Caesar dressing.
You a picky eater, so I don't be knowing if it be you or her, but I don't know.
What you mean?
We ain't gonna go on that.
All right.
But I got a question for you.
Okay.
As a mother to be, what is one thing that you would wish to pass down to your daughter?
As far as what?
Anything. What's something that you would wish to pass down to her?
I just wish that I could pass down. Just really instilling God in her. That's like foundational. And just like the ability to just be herself. Them were two, like, it's just so much I wish I could pass down to her. I want to pass down generational wealth. I want to set her up right.
Yeah.
But as far as like things that I want her to get.
Yeah,
like,
I'm talking about like intangible things, like stuff that you can't touch. Like, yeah.
My God, my like having a relationship with him and really like getting to know him for herself, because this is his child. He just blessing us with the opportunity to steward and manage and, be the people to be the portal, and for us to be, he trusts us to be her mom.
For sure.
But so God, and then just her really mastering the ability to be herself, and like, cause that's big with the girls that I've worked with in the past, the young ladies, and super big that they, that's a level of struggle for them to really just be themselves and not follow. And
Well, that's a kind of a don't because I kind of got a question that was going to go
okay,
into that.
What's one thing you wish, or what you think wishes you could pass down to her?
I would say pride, always remain again like loyal to yourself, being more your morals and standing by that, because I know with being who I am and you being who you are, we are going to try our best to instill certain morals into her, So I would say sticking to the morals, and staying true to herself. Again, I think you said that, and not being easy swayed to do other things.
Yeah.
Again, because the society we live in, and just being a kid in general, stuff is going to happen.
Yeah.
But just always knowing what your morals is as a person, knowing what your value is as a person, because being a soon to be father, having a daughter, I think a lot of women don't know or don't cherish the value that they have or the power that they have. So knowing like you are, important, knowing that you are a prized possession, like you more important than the guy, what I'm saying? You are the prize. So knowing like your value, like don't ever get pressure into doing anything. Don't ever feel like you have to chase anybody. Like you are the possession.
Yeah. Do you have any like as a parent, like how do you have any fears about becoming a parent?
Um Outside of just the fact of just knowing like life is going to change, but outside of that I don't, because I'm a person to where it's like it is what it is.
Yeah.
We here now.
Yeah.
There ain't no reason for me to fear. I know I'm going to be a great father, you know what I'm saying? Like
So.
I know that. I just now it's like, what is life going to look like? Like how many nights am I going to lose sleep? How many days am I going to be like, oh man, I'm tired? Little stuff like that, to where it's like you just know it's going to come. But outside of that, not really. I mean, in the fear of the society, the culture that we living in, like, we made a joke, said Cardi, but do I want my daughter listening to Cardi B?
So why you like her?
That's neither here nor there.
No.
Talking
why
about,
you like Cardi B?
That's neither here nor there. But let me take that back. I don't mind her listening to Cardi B. Because again, that where we come in as parents, knowing values, morals, principles,
she'll be able to differentiate.
Okay, that's entertainment. This is real life. But am I scared to where it's like that's all that the kids are seeing nowadays, and that's what being pushed on them? Yes, that is a concern to me as a father, to where it's like so much sex and disrespect is being pushed, and even from it's just that is a concern. Having a young lady she gonna be able to differentiate what a young lady is compared to what is being normalized as being okay with being a hoe or getting tricked on. Like, no, that's not okay. Just getting tricked on. You ain't that. You're more than that.
Don't nobody. Yeah, I'm telling you, that Booty Hole Brown song, I hate it with a passion. I'm sorry. I just do. I wouldn't want my daughter to. Okay, question. You think I'm gonna be a great mom?
Yeah, for sure. I know you're gonna be a great mom.
Like, why you think that?
See, don't start doing that.
Like, stop.
I know you're gonna be a great mom because you have great character, you have good values, you carry yourself the right way, you have good morals. Everything about you is stand up, So again, it's stuff that you need to work on and stuff that I need to work on. But as far as how to raise a young lady, I have no concern about that. Us, as far as communicating and knowing, okay, how we not are, little things like that. Yeah, we gonna have to work on that. But as far as what you are as a woman, I know that you are going to instill good traits into a young lady. I mean, you work with, which was funny because you've always wanted a boy, but all you work with is little girls, and that's what you instill in girls: value, character, morals, confidence.
It's weird because you say that, right? And I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's like I gotta get this out. When I ask you, like, how do you feel like you're gonna be a good parent, or what I just say? I don't know, remember, but because I worked with girls, I just knew God was gonna give me a boy. Like, I just always felt in my heart like my first child was going to be a boy. And it's not like, I don't have no weird reason why I wanted a son. I just don't know. I don't know, wanted to love on him in a certain way. I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I guess, I don't know what I thought. Let's just say that. So, but it's like, since God has blessed me with a girl, I have asked myself, like, do I got what it takes to raise a girl? What I'm gonna do with a girl? Like, how am I guess I looked at a little boy as easy. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, I ain't gotta teach him how to wipe himself. I ain't gotta teach, I mean, yeah, but you get what I'm saying? Like, the stuff that as a woman, you gotta know, right? And once we found out we was having a girl, I instantly started to ask myself, do I have what it takes to raise a girl?
For sure. I mean,
I work with girls.
I can see. I mean, because for you now, and I
It's
guess
my daughter.
Yeah, and I say this because even as a father, like, you know, because I've had peers say like, "Hey, bro, like that's what's up. You having a girl. It's needed that it's needed for little girls to have good fathers. So that's a lot of pressure too. Like knowing you about to raise up a little girl in this crazy society with these little filthy little boys. Yeah, man. One of my boys sent me the scene from what was that? Bad Boys 2. Yeah, we on that.
But
so
how Martin was?
Yeah, when you not come to homecoming, come on, bro. We not.
Because you know what you was on right at
Yeah,
time. Yeah,
we ain't gonna
you
be
see
on
what
that.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm dropping off. I'm dropping off at homecoming. I'm picking up. You know,
you can't do that.
I know, but I guess as a woman now, it's like, and I can't say the pressure's on. Because it's not no pressure. You going to do a great job. You got the support. You got me. You know, it's going to be second nature. It's going to be like nothing. But I think maybe for what you're saying is maybe you just feel like now I really have to be the role model. Whereas for a boy, I guess I would have, like, you coming to the grocery store with me. Like, you doing, like, you coming outside to cut the grass with me. Now, with you as a mom, it's like,
she gonna be watching everything that I do.
Yeah, you going to go get nails done with mom. You supposed to learn, you know, do little things.
And you would think all my friends got, well, I ain't gonna say all of them, because not all my friends have girls. But I have a friend who have, like, boys and stuff like that. But Dynasty got a girl. Naya got a girl, like Ayla, our god baby, is a girl. My daughter gonna grow up around a lot of girls, or have a lot of girls to grow up around, and I never once considered that.
Yeah,
but you always wanted a girl.
I did. I wanted a girl up until like 2 or 3 weeks before, you know, and I'm not even to say before. I wanted like once we started getting close to where we knew the gender reveal, you know, we joked around. Actually, you started switching too. You started swaying towards the girl side
because I started to get all these signs that I was about to have a girl. So I was like, okay, if I have a boy, how would I really feel about that? But then I was like, I want a boy. But then it was like, I was just like having all these signs like, man, it's going to be a girl, bro.
So, but yeah, so you started kind of swaying and I started kind of swaying towards the boy. But yeah, I did want a girl, man. You know, it's funny because, again, I coach boys basketball, but I didn't have the desire to coach boys basketball when I came back from Kentucky. When I got into, you know, I started off with the girls. You know, I enjoy when I first was watching y'all's games and you being a cheer coach. Even though it was good basketball for me for middle school, I really was coming to games to watch, to support you and to watch the cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like when y'all cheered at Northland, and they did the little halftime show, like I was standing up saying, "Go Wildcats, go Wildcats, go!" Like, you know, so you know that was like I enjoy watching that. You know, as a soon to be a father or wanting to be a father one day. But then as I was getting closer, it was like, man, if I get a girl, like, how am I gonna wipe her? Like, what do I do? Like, you know, how hair?
What you gonna do when she come and say, somebody broke my heart, daddy?
Oh man,
you get what I'm saying?
I might cry, but you know,
what would you do if she come to you and say she had sex?
That's a question for another day.
I'm just thinking.
You know, that's a question for another day.
I mean, I definitely think we're gonna be good parents. I definitely think for me, like I said, I think I did start the question. And I work with girls, and I have some little girls that I'm like, oh, I will. If I ever have a daughter, I want them to be like her and stuff like that. But, whew, Lord Jesus. Mm-hmm. But it's on and popping now.
For sure.
So since the pregnancy, how do you feel about, you know, me being pregnant? Like, how has things changed for you mentally or any kind of way? It doesn't matter.
Again, I mean, still just like preparation, I guess, more so of knowing that you about to have a child.
Does it make you look at me different?
In terms of?
I don't know. Some people be like, man, like, I don't even know.
I mean, in
the fact that you carrying my child.
Yeah, in the awe of knowing that you're carrying my child, yeah, of course, like it makes me look at you in that way in a good light, as far as like knowing, dang, you're bringing my daughter into the world, knowing that you're going to not only be my wife but the mother of my child. That also, you know, little small things, that like, again, I think to myself, but I haven't expressed to you like yet. Like, Q, you gotta do better. Like, you can't, small stuff. Can't drink and drive, bro, because I never thought about this until now. But it's not to say I drink and drive, because I am a teacher, but I have taken shots or two and then drove home. But it's like, my point is, like, it's been moments to where it's like, bro, I'm like, you got a daughter now and a wife at home that you can't take the chances to end up in a slammer for being drinking white, and I'm just saying this as an example.
Yeah,
Drink
no.
small things, drink that you don't really think of until now, like with you being pregnant, like, where you can't risk doing a weekend a little bit because you wanted to take 2 shots and 3 or 4 shots and come from do a 15-minute drive. Like, you can't take them risks now. So now I am thinking more as far as like how this can not only affect me, but how it affects you, pregnancy, and our soon-to-be daughter.
Because I think about that too, though. But I think about not only the pressure, like, it's like pressures of being a wife and a mom. And it's not pressures because you're not hard on me about anything. And how we move with each other, it works. But of course, I want to be a better wife, and I want to be a great mother, and I want to just make sure that I'm giving y'all everything that I got, in a way to where it's just like I'm really doing what I'm supposed, like my purpose, because that's another calling and purpose on our lives. You being a father and me being a mother, like that's a whole new ministry
For sure.
It's something that we about to walk into and learn so much about afterwards.
For
but
sure.
It definitely had me like
Yeah.
like that as well.
Yeah, man, I'm just thankful though. So I think that was a good episode. We can wrap it up on that.
No, I got more questions.
You serious?
Yeah.
What's up?
No, I'm playing.
Yeah, but
no, before we wrap it up, let me just make sure that we cover everything.
Everything is covered, man.
Listen.
Everything is covered, but no, we appreciate y'all. This was our first episode of just us two
in a very long time.
And we
about us.
And about us. And we just kind of, wanted to get on, do an episode, express, kind of our background, our history with each other. A little bit about neighborhood politics. Let y'all see us by ourselves, and kind of show y'all or talk to y'all about what we got going on in the future.
Yeah.
On top of a lot of new some guests coming on.
Yeah, top of new guests coming on. Okay, and then this, I guess, my last question as far as like neighborhood politics, next steps, and different things that you want to do with it. What are some things that you not saying too much? Mm-hmm. We can't put all our eggs out there or one basket or tell everything. What's some things that you aspire to do or have when it comes to neighborhood politics? It could be small, it could be big.
Just continue to, deliver great content, bring on great guests, have great conversations. And that's just one aspect of it, because, when I first talked to you about neighborhood politics and I got this idea of this, it's bigger than just, the brand is bigger than just this right here, us sitting here. We like doing community work. Yeah. So, I want to continue growing in aspects of that, of being able to do community work. I want to continue doing I want to branch off and it's not to go into too much details, but get AU organizations going and training camps and, programs for young ladies, program for little young men in the community.
What somebody said to me today?
What's up?
A school.
Yeah, that would be dope. I've
heard it before.
Yeah, I've thought about that before. Schools, the whole 9 yards. So, this is just a branch of, the beginning of where I see neighborhood politics, and hopefully we continue growing with y'all, and y'all continue growing with us, and y'all stay loyal as we'll stay loyal to y'all. And y'all will see us somewhere doing some amazing things in the near future.
So we know we got a baby on the way. We're both still coaching. We're both still teaching. Both still mentoring. I guess the grind don't stop.
No, not at all.
All right, so thank y'all so much for tuning in to us. Leave us comments. We chat back. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe, share, and really share and, subscribe. We trying to continue to build and grow. And we're grateful to have y'all here, the neighborhood with us, and behind us. it feels is a blessing, and I'm grateful. And before we end this, I just want to say once again, I'm grateful for you. I love you. I appreciate you. I honor you, and I'm excited about our future.
For sure. Yep. Neighborhood politics. Again, if y'all sit and watch these entire episodes, we really want to express our appreciation. And even if you watch an episode, but you will only be hearing this part if you got to the end.
Yeah.
So if you sat and watched this entire episode, we really appreciate you. And we really are super thankful for the support. Again, like she said, please comment, please subscribe, and continue reaching out, asking to be on the platform. It's been a lot of people, but we gonna continue trying to cipher through and get y'all on here one by one. So just be patient with us. And I think that's Neighborhood Politics, and we out.
All right.